Hey guys, so today we're going to cover pedigree analysis, and pedigrees are a tool that scientists often use to study the inheritance of a gene or a disease. It can tell you if the gene is inherited autosomally, or if it's sex-linked, or if it's dominant, recessive. It can give you all these details. So in order to properly study a pedigree, you have to first understand what all the different symbols mean. One of the first symbols is a square. A square signifies that the individual is a male. A circle means it's a female. And if the symbol, the circle or the square, is filled in, that means the individual is affected. It has the disease that you're studying. So if you have a circle and a square connected by a line, that means the two individuals married outside of the family, that the two are not related, and that they had children. The vertical line coming from them denotes their children, and if two individuals have two horizontal lines between them, that signifies a consanguine marriage, or that they married within the family, that the two individuals are related, either first cousin or more related. And so that means they had children and within the family. So that's what the basic symbols mean. Now there's also a numbering system that scientists will use. So each generation is denoted with Roman numerals. So you have 1 there, 2 there. And each individual in each generation is denoted with regular numbers. So if you wanted to refer to this individual here, you would refer to him as Roman numeral 2-2. So that way everyone knows who you're talking about. So now let's see how we can use this pedigree to figure out if a trait is dominant or recessive, and sex-linked or autosomal. So if a trait is dominant, then an affected individual had to have come from affected parents, because in order for the trait to be present, then even if you have one allele of the trait, you're going to express it. So here, if this trait that we're looking at, this disease, if it was dominant, then both of these parents, or at least one of these parents, need to have expressed that trait. Neither of them expressed it, and so this is a big clue to us that this trait is recessive, because if a progeny is affected, but the parents are unaffected, that signifies recessive. Now let's look at whether this trait is sex-linked or autosomal. So actually, let's make this individual unaffected. So now we know that this trait, inheritance of this trait, can't be all sex-linked, because if you look here, this mother is affected. That means and this trait is recessive, so that means she's RR. If we say R is the disease we're studying, okay? Capital R. And so capital R is normal. This is the disease, lowercase r. So she's RR because this disease is recessive. And moms pass on their X chromosome to the son. Fathers will never pass on an X chromosome to the son. They will always pass on the Y chromosome. So she can either give the son an R or an R, which means if this trait was sex-linked, this individual would have to be affected. But he's not, so that means it's autosomal. So now we've figured out that this trait is autosomal recessive just by studying these 3 generations in a pedigree. So there you have it, pedigree analysis.